Hello, my name is Judy, and I'm your foster mom. Through the years, I've said that many times because I have been a foster parent. And I find out it's really a strange, different experience to be loving and taking care of other people's children. I know that there are wonderful people out there who are watching this video who have done this kind of thing or who have been kids themselves. But I, like you, have seen the foster system from all different angles. And I know that people who are in the foster system don't really ever get to talk to each other. Oh yeah, they get together and we have meetings, but there's always a worker in the room. There's always somebody there to mediate. There isn't ever a conversation that we just have for ourselves. So I thought maybe it was time that people who had experience in foster care actually got together and discussed these things. Maybe there's answers to questions that we have. Maybe we can answer each other's questions. That's what I wanted to do. Inviting a strange child into your house is very exciting. It's very chaotic because they'll usually give you a honeymoon period of a couple of weeks where they'll mind your rules and do what you ask them to do. But eventually, chaos will ensue because it is their job to find the worst in you, and it is your job to find the best in them. And there's this trade-off going on. They're picking at you, trying to find your weak spots. You're looking at them and trying to find their strengths. And there's a little war that goes on. We all know that war. Anybody who's taken foster children know what I'm talking about. We need to just be able to discuss these things with each other. I have a lot of stories. You have a lot of stories. We all have our stories. I have a great story about teaching obedience to a young man who was never taught obedience in his early years. This young man took $100 out of my wallet. Now you can tell this is an old story because this is when we actually carried $100 in our wallet, which I guess we don't do anymore. But he took $100 out of my wallet. And I went to him, I said, you stole $100 from me. He of course denied it, and I wasn't taking that. I said, yes, you took my money. However, I had things I was going to do with that $100. This is what I was going to do. I was going to buy a pair of shoes for my daughter. She is in volleyball. She takes a size 10. She's wearing her sister's size 8 shoes. I need to get her some new volleyball shoes. I need to buy groceries, and I need to buy gas. But you think of what you need that $100 for. If you need that $100 more than I need it, then our family can sacrifice. We'll go without the shoes, we'll go without the groceries, we'll go without the gas for you to get what you need. But this is because we're all moving together, this family. So you think about it. You think about it. If you need it more, just keep it. About two days later, I was in the shower. I heard a noise at the door. I get out of the shower and he had stuffed $98 underneath the door. He had made a decision on his own that what we needed was worse than what he needed. He was learning obedience in his own way. These are stories we need to teach each other. How do you teach these different stages of development? How do you take a child from somebody who's lived in chaos to a life of order where they can actually develop and go to school and do normal things in life if they don't have the normal steps of development in their life? I've done it both ways. When I first started as a foster parent, I wasn't getting paid. I was doing it for a church group, and I was just a volunteer. And then I've also done it by being licensed by the state and getting some paid to do it. And I know there's a lot of controversy there. Should we be paid to do it? Not paid to do it? I have my own opinion on that. I think that myself that not very many rich people do this kind of work. This is a kind of work that poor people understand. Poor people understand this entry level of living. They know how hard it is. They themselves have been scarred by life, and they know that the least scarred people are the ones who help the most scarred people, and they are willing to get in and do the work. When I started as a foster mother, I was uneducated. I had children of my own. I knew how I wanted to teach them, but I wasn't educated in psychology. Later on, I went to school, and I learned about Kohlberg. I learned about the developmental steps to moral judgment. I learned a little bit how to teach them. I learned the different stages that we go through. But I also found this out, that being a researcher in psychology, learning about the stages of development, like Kohlberg did, is one thing. But practicing them with children who are unattached in your home is quite a different matter. I think that we need to be educated, but we also need to have everyday, down, feet on the ground kind of rules about how we teach kids the steps of, 4 different steps of moral development. So, yeah, let's have Kohlberg on one side, but let's just be down on the feet and everyday work at it, like normal parents. Well, thank you for watching this video. This is going to be our video. It's going to be our comments. It's going to be, if you comment, I will answer. This is going to be our place that we meet and we discuss these things. Thank you for watching. And I have an email at the very end, judythefostermom@gmail.com. Just email me and we will discuss the things that you want to discuss. Thank you.